Welcome to this look at another map I missed on Farming Simulator 22 with me, MrSealyp. Ladies and gentlemen, I am here on Black Mountain 22, Black Mountain, Montana, by Poorboy and Hoot, 451.14 megabytes download. This is in part of my Maps I Missed series with MrSealyp. I missed a few, didn't I? I had a message about this one. Went and checked. Nope, hadn't done it. There's so many of the different ones that have got either mountain in the title. We had Split Mountain Ranch, and then there was Black River, and I kind of get to a point I think, I'm sure I've done that. That's probably why I didn't do a map tour originally. But anyway, here we are. There are no required mods to download, you'll be glad to hear. But because this is a Poorboy map, we've got a lot of productions in here that produce all sorts of very cool extra things over and above. We've got some vehicles, etc. Now, this... You can play it without Platinum or Premium Expansion or Additions. It is kind of required because a couple of the productions, the Carpentry, Sawmill, and there's a production I'm going to show you at the end that does really require it. It's probably why, again, when we get to the end of the video, it'll make more sense. Why a couple of the productions aren't actually on the map at the start, probably for that reason. But anyway, let's just go off the veranda. Veranda? Porch? How do you refer to it? Depends where you are, I suppose. Depends where you live. Wardrobe trigger is just here. Sleep trigger around the front. Pickup is just here. And this is the main farm. So, we'll talk about slot count as well while we're here. Slot count on new farmer, 1,119. Slot count on farm management start from scratch drops to 1,005. Difference being, you won't start with any of the buildings. Now that includes animal pens. It also includes some sheds and buildings elsewhere on the map, which we'll see later on, and a couple of greenhouses, which are also elsewhere on the map. This farm will look like this. Now you can get that slot count down even more because you do start with all the equipment and machinery and stuff like that. So if there's equipment and machinery in that list that you don't want, don't need, or you think actually I'm going to swap it all out for stuff that I want to use, I got the slot count down to 759. You might be able to get it lower. I mean, I think you will be able to because there's something I'm going to show you later on, actually, the biogas plant. So you probably can get it lower than that. But yeah, 759. So if slot count is a worry or there's a load of stuff you want to use and you're managing it, that may be something you want to do. So, what I want to get on with next. Crop types. We've got additional crop types added in. We have alfalfa, black bean, we've got lentils, flax, and peas. As far as it goes for alfalfa, it's a grass. All of those crop types go into the ground with seeders or planters. If we go to our tools and we go to our seeders, you can see them all down the bottom there. So they can all go into the ground with a seeder. If we go to our planters, they'll go into the ground with planters as well, which is pretty cool. But as far as harvesting goes, alfalfa is a grass. You can mow it, you can ted it, you can bale it, all that kind of good stuff. Forage, harvest it, you know, whatever you want to do. As far as other crops go, if you go to regular headers, no, it's not regular headers, regular headers, you can take them out of the ground and harvest them with regular headers, which is lovely. But what was added in one of the updates as well, because obviously this had a few updates because I missed it, you can use the swathing or the swathable crops packs. There's the swathing header and there's the swather, which allows you to swath the crops. If you swath the crops first, you can get a 20% bonus. That's by BC Bueller. Now that's not added in as a required mod, it's just in the description to say, look, you can do that if you want to. Plus, soybean and corn on here. If you harvest those, you can also have straw swaths on those. So soybean straw and corn straw if you want to. And breathe. Right, next, if we come down to mods and DLCs, you can see I've got Platinum and Premium on there, but Black Mountain, Montana, and again, if you've watched any of my other ones recently, when I did Deadwood and I think I did Mason County recently as well, on Deadwood especially, all this stuff has been added in by Poorboy and Hoot. Loads of different options, capacities have been increased. We've got forestry equipment with different colour options. Again, like the bucket there goes up to 25,000 litre. The side dump one goes up to, 104.4. No, that's going to be, that's a ridiculous capacity. But anyway, yeah, different capacities, and they also take extra things like crude oil, kerosene, bits and bobs like that. We've got the Prinoth, Raptor, baler, yeah, there's tons of stuff in here. And then we've got this on the end here, which will do, I mean, that's the Rootster multi-fruit. Again, if you haven't got premium expansion on, that will just show potato and sugar beet, but with premium on, it shows all the crop types there. So for harvesting, good to go. Come out of there, we're going to build mode. I'm going to have to rattle around this map now, aren't I? Because there's a lot of stuff going on here. If we go into build mode and we go to sheds, right in the very end there, we've got a workshop under sheds, not under tools, which is where workshops often are. If we come from there to container, out and then we've got a farm production buying station and a material buying station. The farm production station is out on the map already, you'll see in a little while. But the other one is there and available should you wish to use it. If we go from there to farmhouses, right on the end there, the farmhouse, which we're just standing by, is on here. If we go to production and factory, so right out to the end, and again, some of these I will show you at the end, but some of them are on the map. So if we go back to, where are we? These have been added in. So feed production, Black Mountain biofuels. That's the biogas plant. You'll see that. Charcoal factory, crude oil, sawmill, paper and cardboard, gold bar, pallet and plywood, root crop processing, grain mill, Black Mountain carpentry, cereal factory, dairy and spinnery, bakery out on the end as well. So those have all been added in. There was nothing under greenhouses, orchards or generators, but under sell points out on the end, we do have Hoot's Place. We've got residential sale, there's a few of those on the map, and we've got the farmer's market. Under animals, we've got added in animal pens under all the animals. Now, the other thing with the animal pens on here, not only do they take extra crop types and things that can be produced, including alfalfa hay and that kind of stuff, and you can use corn, straw, and various different things. All the animals have got the additional animal types. So chickens and ducks, we've got sheep and goats, we've got the baby ducklings and chicks, and we've got piglets, we've got sows, we've got boars, everything. So I'll show you those as we go around as well. So all the animals have been changed. Under decoration, we didn't have anything. And then under landscaping, painting, trees and plants were all pretty standard. Right, let's whiz around then. Do I want to pick up? Not start off with. Right, so we'll start off. Oh, we've got a dog. It's not named this one actually, just says Phil Bowl. Maybe that's his name, Phil. We'll call the dog Phil. So, chicks and ducks. So chickens and ducks. Chick male, so female, male, rooster. Ducklings, female and male, and ducks, female and male. So whole load going on there. We've got hayloft, standard in-game 250,000 litres with a forage wagon just there. We come over the back. Harvester is by one of our start fields. I didn't even show the map. Did I show the map and all that in a second? And then if we whiz over here, we've got a cow barn that we start with. That was 100 chickens, wasn't it? So we come to the cows. I think the cows is 150. And this has got cows, calves, heifers, bulls. As you can see, various different breeds as well. So if we go up and down, we've got females, heifers, cows, calf male, bulls. Then we've got Herefords, Angus, Limousin, Simmental, Jerseys, Charolais. So all different types, all different animals. I love it when maps have the baby animals on. I think that's fantastic. It's a great addition. Back across the farm, silage clamp just here. So this is the production, so by sort of production silo. So if there's anything you require farm production wise, you can purchase from here. Inside this shed, we've got a couple of New Hollands and a trailer with some front loader gear. Fuel tank, workshop trigger, little trailer to the side there. So workshop, just in here. Then across the way, we've got our grasswork equipment, mower, baler, windrower, seeder, cultivator, and header, corn header for the harvester. So that's the main part of the farm, but we have got some more to look at. Across the way there, Farmer 400 silo, it's the other side of the road, standard in-game, so that's a standard crop type, 400,000 litre. I will grab the pickup, but what I need to do, because I didn't show you, we go to the map. This is what the map looks like. I normally do that right at the start. Got sidetracked with all the other information. So, as you can see, a big majority of this is forest and forestry. But if forestry's not your thing, there's plenty of farmland, plenty of space around the outside as well. Prices of fields on new farm, we do start with the main farm 15 and field 13 with the bit out to the side as well. Not overly expensive as far as plots go. The biogas plant we're going to get to later on, that's only 20,750 to buy the biogas plant. You have to buy the land to get the icons to appear. We'll do that later on. And then all the way out here, we've got 2 greenhouses, which I said you get on new farm, but you don't have a farm management start from scratch. But you don't own the land. You've got the greenhouses there. And there's also, up here, we've got a sheep farm or sheep pen. Again, on farm management start from scratch, that isn't there. But the forest is split up into manageable chunks. It's interesting forestry. There's a lot of areas, and again, lots of space for putting in extra stuff. I'm not going to go all the way out to here on the map tour, but there is a fuel point very similar to the one we are going to go past, which is in the forest just here. But there's plenty to be getting on with. It may not be your cup of tea. It may be, depends what you're into. And it's not, I've said it, every single one of these map tours I've done on maps I missed. I don't know how I missed it. I honestly don't know how I missed it. I have listed on various different versions of these. Now, I just want to say this as well. I've just got on this map. I did not touch that. I always get in trouble. People say, oh, you knocked down all the fence posts. Oh, look, there's a collectible. Didn't even check that. What's that worth? Spoiler alert. Bit too late. 50 grand. Collectibles then. How many collectibles are there? 20 collectibles. We've got 1 out of 20. I don't know if they're all going to be worth 50 or whether there'll be different values, but sorry. I've seen the Farmer 500 silo. Next to that, just here, we have our Piggly Wigglies. So if we go over to here, we have got porkers, sows, piglets, boars. So we've got Berkshires up the top. We've got black pied. I always get that wrong. But yeah, like I say, so I love it. I think it's brilliant, and I love it when they give birth, and they give birth to piglets. The game should be like that standard. The base game should be like that. So I didn't even say how many that you probably saw already. 108 various different pigs, piglets, boars, sows, etc. We whiz down the road. To our right, residential cell. So that's a sell point, and you can put those on anywhere you like. Now I think when I did Deadwood recently, it was in the build mode residential cell, but there weren't any out on the map, whereas this one there are. These 2 houses down here have both got residential sell points on them, there and there. And then we turn here, we come to the first of our productions. So I would say buckle in. This is not as heavy as on the Deadwood map tour I put. Is this too much? Because there was so much. This one I think is balanced. Maybe. Depends how you feel about it. I'm going to put some money in, and then we will carry on. That should do nicely. So we're starting off here at the charcoal production. So, to produce charcoal and pioneer pellet requires coal, bark, empty pallets, carton rolls, sawdust, and paper rolls. That'll become more relevant later on as we go around. You'll see where those can all be produced. Charcoal and pioneer pellets can be produced. A lot of these things, that is the final product. So you just look in the menu there. Where are we? Here under prices, scroll up and down till you find the item it is you're looking for. You can work out where you can sell it and what the price is as well. I'm not going to go through all of those because there are a lot of productions, and so we're limited on time, not overly limited on time. But back to the map then, and I will show you where we are. And we started here at the main farm. Did all of that. Came down here, residential sale there, and there. We're now here. We're going to whiz back up, all the way back past the farm, all the way up to this T-junction, and we're going to head to the main town, where most of the productions and sell points and bits and bobs are, and then we're going to head west. But I will see you as we're approaching that T-junction, and we'll head into the town, and we'll have a look at the various different facilities and stuff in there, and then we will get round to the forested area and check all that out. I have done a couple of little clips here and there. See another one. Did not knock down that mailbox. I have done in the past, I'm not going to deny it, but I didn't do these ones, I promise. Right, T-junction coming up. Look, that sign says stop, but that's 2 cars I just watched did not stop. Bad form. Right. heading towards the main part of the town. And we start just here. If we turn in, we have gas station and gas station sale. Hang on a minute. Sorry, I was just checking my interactive zone markers. The gas station is there, and the gas station sell point. There we go. Just around the back. If we come from the gas station around here, we come to the vehicle shop and workshop, which is just here. Vehicle shop trigger at the front, workshop trigger outside and inside. So if you've got larger vehicles you can't fit inside the workshop for doing work in here, you can do work outside, which is very nice indeed. Vehicle shop, there we go, takes you into the menu just there. This is also the reset point on the map, so if you need to reset any vehicles, machinery or equipment, it will reset back to here. From here, we've got the fast food restaurant sale point, which is just there. And then if we go just past that up the hill, we've got Hoot's Place sell point up the top of the hill, just here. Now something I will say now, it's a frustration I have every now and again on maps. I've talked about it on different map tours. Most of the map has this, it's not really grass, which is interesting again, seeing how things like Mason County and Deadwood seem to be a progression on. That there's no like tall grass or meadow grass, it's all pretty bare. Even when we get up into the forested areas, it's glaringly obvious, it seems kind of stark and open. Some maps have trees and bushes and stuff all over the place, and I don't know whether this iteration's had something removed or added. So I was looking through all the details of the various different updates, and one said that there was paintable bushes and all the stuff, but there doesn't seem to be, so I'm not sure. It just seems very clinical a little bit. Anyway, just saying, it's kind of obvious as you drive around, it's quite sparse. So pallet and plywood production, click on that to purchase. Plywood, empty pallets, requires wood chip, wood beam and planks, which again will become relevant later on. And then we've got plywood and empty pallet. Now I'm trying to remember now on the productions, we'll see as we go through later on. Empty pallets you're going to need at a few different places. Plywood may be the end product, but I know I keep harking on about Deadwood, but that's the most recent map by Poorboy that's come out, and that's the one I'm kind of thinking about, because that had some productions that required plywood. So swing across here, we come to Black Mountain Carpentry. So with Platinum Expansion on, if we click on this and buy that, 60 grand, we've then got all these different things. So furniture, shingle, prefab walls, staircase railings, floor tiles, all the things you can do. I say not all of them actually, because it's not arm wire and all the... So yeah, not everything, but required in wood, planks, wood beam and metal. Because obviously some of the things, it's not barrels on here either, are there? So yeah, not everything. That's curious. But a few of them. So some require metal, some don't on their productions. So that's the carpentry. Across the way, this is our paper and cardboard factory facility. Click on that. Paper roll, cardboard roll, all it requires is wood chip. Doesn't require water or anything like that. Just wood chip in. You can produce both of those. So for the other productions and things that require paper roll or carton roll, you're going to need this production running. So again, I suppose the forestry does become more relevant, because you're going to need wood chip, unless you just put in a binding silo and buy wood chip, which you can do if you want to. If forestry is not your thing, there is the Devourer mod by VSR modding. Is it VSR? And that will just take down an entire tree and wood chip it. So if you wanted to go down that route, you want wood chipping, but you don't want to necessarily have to go full forestry. They always say never go full forestry. But then behind here we've got the biomass heating plant. This takes wood chip, wood, straw bales, there may be some other bits and bobs, but that's just a sell point and biomass heating plant just there. And then we whiz through out of here. I'm going to cut across the grass probably. Yes I will. Make sure I don't catapult myself into the shadow realm, because there's a big bump here. Just there. Across the bridge and around the back, we've got the farmer's market just there. Animal dealer over the back with the sell point for bales, etc. So animal dealer and sell point just there, and come on around the back here to the grain mill. So with the grain mill, on all three game modes you start with, It's just the greenhouses you don't start with. We're on new farm at the moment. I know I've bought a load already, but yeah, you do start with it. And this is a grain mill plus. So I wanted to purchase this because we already own it. So wheat flour, barley flour, oat flour, sorghum flour, corn flour, canola flour, sunflower flour, and soybean flour. All of that stuff in just produces flour out. You don't get different types of flour coming out, but it does require pallets and it does require paper roll in the production. So something to be aware of. Right, so what we're going to do now is head out to, well, I said the biogas plant, it's the biofuels plant. And we're going to carry on heading west, which will take us right out into the corner of the map. Then we'll have a bit of a drive back again because we have to retrace our steps a little bit. So the biofuels facility, as I already said, it's only 20 grand to buy the land, which is pretty cool. You need to buy the land to get the icons to pop up, and the icons pop up means you own it. So it's only 20 grand for the whole lot. Big open space, which means you can put other sell points, productions, things like that on it if you want. But what you can also do is you can remove everything. So once you've purchased it and you own the land, you can remove all the buildings. So here we are. 20,750, do that, and that. Boom, it appears. And what we'll do is have a look because, like I say, biofuels. So we can put in grass, potatoes, silage, slurry, manure, sugar beet cut, canola, sunflower, corn, wood chip, coal, crude oil. Very different recipes required. So out here, grass, potatoes, silage, slurry, manure, sugar beet cut, canola, sunflower, corn, wood chip, and then outgoing products. There we go. Methane, digestate, diesel, diesel exhaust fluid, and kerosene. So as far as biofuels go, there's a bit of everything. And in those vehicles and machinery I showed you at the start, those very different tankers will haul those products. Oh, that was going to show you. Did I take a picture or a video clip? I think it was just a picture. Once purchased, you can sell all of this. So you've just got this big open space to, like I say, do with whatever you want for activities, and it will look like this. From here then, onwards. I'm not going to get through the fence that way, not unless I can get through it by osmosis, which is difficult with the pickup. We're going to be coming back to that little junction in a little while. But out here, 2 large greenhouses that we have on New Farmer, but not Farm Manager or Start from Scratch. So they're tucked away there. We don't own the land, they're just there, and you can utilise them. You can also sell them if you want to, even though you don't own the land. They're standard in-game ones, they're not modded in any way, shape or form. And we're going to head all the way out here. I do like this, kind of swings up through a gap in the trees. You can imagine it's been cleared over the years, and then out into another little valley. And this is where the sheep pen is. And like I say, on Farm Manager Start from Scratch, the pen's not here. The land obviously is, but the pen's not. And this will do sheep and goats, including kids and rams, etc. Oh, you lost it there. So, there we go. Lamb, sheep, young ram, young goat, goat female, goat male, young goat. So our kids, various different descriptions, can all be put in there, or once they're birthed, they will birth as younger animals and then grow. Then we come right to the back here, and this is the mine. Old mine shaft. So the old mine shaft, unlike various different other versions of maps by Poorboy, and this is Poorboy and Hoot, Poorboy is the sort of one that's on all of them. There's no quarry, there's no mine, there's no stone quarry to collect stone. It's just this old mine shaft. If you back up to here, you just have to pay for things. There's a little video clip I'm going to cut to now of the various different products that you can purchase from here. So it depends what route you want to go with that, because later on we're going to get to a facility that takes stone. You'll see it's a crusher. So if you want to just come to the mine and get stuff, you can pay for it. If you want to come to the mine and just get stone, so have it as a stone quarry. Don't know why I just did bunny rabbit ears in midair. You can't see that, but a stone quarry. And then take the stone to the crusher to get the other things out. So it depends sort of the level of immersion you want to go to. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go from here. So we've come all the way out to here. I'm going to drive all the way back down there, all the way back down there, right the way there, just past the biofuels, and we're going to take that little fork in the road up there. So I will see you in a moment. So turning down here, biofuels is just there. We're heading up into the forest. Now, some of the bits I'll show you where we're going to drive. I won't necessarily show the whole drive. It's interesting because at the start here there's bushes and bits and bobs, but as you get a little bit further in, that becomes a little bit more sparse. But what I do like a lot is the different sorts of trees. You've got areas that are open, you've got areas where you've got lots of dead standing trees. That adds a level of immersion to it. But so this is the sawmill. Now again, platinum expansion is probably preferable, but you don't have to. I mean, you'll run as a sawmill. You buy the sawmill for 150 grand. So wood planks, wood beams, wood planks, and wood and diesel is required in. So you're going to diesel as well. But what you'll get out is planks, wood chip, bark, sawdust, wood beam, and planks. So some of the other things we saw earlier that required wood beams, some required sawdust, some required bark, can all be produced here. So if you're wondering where you got that from, you can get it from here. It may well be actually that those two buy silos that we looked at in the build mode, you might be able to buy directly from those potentially, or the buy anything multi-fruit silo by 82 Studio sometimes. Now, split away from the rest of our equipment and machinery, I do like the log stands as well here for piling your logs up between these. That's cool, they're already in place. So this is all part of our start machinery and equipment. Forklift truck here, wheel loader with log grab, timber runner, and lorry, semi, however you want to refer to it. I'll get in trouble from HMG, sorry. Calling it a lorry. So this is part of your start equipment. Now, as I said at the start, on farm management start from scratch, no building, so that shed isn't here. I know it's a small thing. The equipment is all still here, but that shed isn't. What we're going to do is whiz up the hill. That's what we also start with. Is some forestry equipment. Did it again. Why is it in the shadows? Look. The gates aren't automatic, just so you know. I think I just staved my front axle in and front bumper and everything. But we're going to drive all out here, and we do start with a forest harvester and a forwarder. But again, if forestry is not your thing, like I say, you might want to come on and think, well, I'm going to get rid of the trailers and the timber runner and I might keep the wheel loader, but I might not have the harvester or the forwarder because I'm not going to use them. And that's fine, you know. That's the beauty of the game. You choose how you want to play it, it's entirely up to you. Or you might decide there's actually other stuff that in the mod hub or in-game that you'd rather use than these. But these are modded, these are in here, and you do start with them on all three game modes. So what we're going to do from here, and like I said, I did check, off camera I brought up every single plot to see if any of the other productions would appear. I'm not going to drive to that one, but we are going to follow this track here all the way past this little lake here, and we're going to go all the way down to here, and we're going to end up here. There's a fuel point just here, like a little, not an outward bound centre, but kind of, you know, if you're out doing trail driving and that kind of stuff. And then we've got another facility there, which is where I'm going to head to. So you'll see the start of that, but I won't necessarily do the whole route. It does give you some indication of how tricky the forestry could be or might be. So, oh, I just missed the gate then. That was lucky. There's another gate there. But if you're playing multiplayer, it might be a little bit easier. This sort of terrain as well, if you've got the platinum expansion, gives you ample opportunity for using cable yarders. So for having a cable yarder up on the top of there and running trees right the way down, you know, that kind of thing. If forestry is your thing, this is one of those maps for cable yarding. Absolutely brilliant. So I will follow this, whoa, without going off an edge somewhere, and I will see you at the next facility. ample. I mean, it's very pretty. It's the sort of thing you could up here clear yourself a space, build a little log cabin. I mean, there's nothing to stop you clearing a load of land if you find some flat areas or open areas and doing some farming, do some hilltop stuff. Like I say, what you choose to do when you're on it is entirely up to you. This is a really nice little spot here, which I think would be one of those, you know, for coming up for picnics, that kind of stuff. Look at that down there. Glorious. So, the fuel point, just here, this is what I was talking about. There's a lot of, it's kind of open. But this is a, you know, you could put a little field, you could have a little farmstead up here. You know, you could be a mountain man and come up here, do a bit of forestry, clear, or woman, it's a person, whatever you want to be. Come up and do some forestry, have yourself a little farmstead up in the trees up here, and you just go into the town to get supplies and bits and bobs. I don't know, let's say, whatever you want to do. There's a fuel point just there that can be refilled, and we come slightly down the hill. Oh, tree down. And we're returning just here, and this is the large crusher. So this is the crusher building, which if you purchase, looks very similar to Deadwood. 500 grand. So the crusher, stones, diesel and water in, and then all of those things that you can get from the old mine shaft can be crushed here. So if you want to just bring stone here from the mine shaft and then run it, look, you're crushing it and producing all those things from the stone, you can. But if you don't want to do all that, you can just get it from the mine shaft. It's entirely up to you. So this is the stone crusher. You saw it on the map where we were. So what we'll do now is just go back to there. So we drove all the way along. I've come all the way to here. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to head directly across onto that track. This track leads down, winds its way down, back here, which brings us pretty much down to the main farm. I'm going to go down and I'm going to park up just here, because what I'm going to do to finish off, I'm going to show you the factories, the productions that aren't on the map but are in the build mode. Again, depends what map tours you've seen. You might not have seen any of the other ones, but so you can have a look and see what's available. They're not out on the map, which I guess is it's a good thing. It gives you the option to use them if you want to. They're not on the map already. Not that they're going to force you to use them. You choose what you use and what you don't use, but they are there for you to place if you want to. So I will see you down there in just a moment. Okay, so we've been around the map. Now, as I said right at the very start, this has had multiple updates. Some things have been added, then removed. Some other things have been added. But when we looked into the build mode at the very start, let's turn this off, there were some productions that I thought, as I go around to do my map tour prep, I'll find. And I haven't. So what I'm going to do is show you. Now, this comes off the back of, I've just recently done the map tour on Deadwood, which is a new one that came out. I also went back and did a map tour on, what was the other one I did a map tour on? It was a Poorboy one. Oh no, I did Mason County a while ago, didn't I? Yeah, so it's Deadwood, Mason County. So this is, I think, was a forerunner to those. But anyway, that being said, some of these you may have seen before if you've watched those map tours. But if we go into build mode, go back to our production and we scroll back across, we start here. Now I've looked around the map. I've also bought up every plot of land off camera to check and see if there were any plots where these were hidden, where icons hadn't appeared, that kind of thing. So we start off with this one, which is the feed production. If we find a gap to put that in, doesn't matter where, let's plonk that in there. 60 grand, that goes in. If we go off of that and then go across, we've then got crude oil production, which again, I didn't find one out on the map anywhere. We'll put that down, also 60 grand. Come off there. With sawmill we've done, paper and cardboard we've done, gold production, we'll pop that in, 80 grand. Then next door to gold production we've got a gold bar factory, because you know, what are you going to do with your gold, you know, it needs to be kind of smelted and produced into bars, I guess. Come off there, pallet and plywood we've seen, root crop processing. Now root crop processing is one, I believe, if my other map tour's anything to go by, when I did Deadwood as well, you're going to need premium expansion for that to work. So platinum for some of the other ones, premium for this. So again, both of them would probably be required. Go off there, grain mill we saw, Black Mountain Carpentry we saw. Cereal factory I think is standard, might have just been tweaked a little bit. Dairy seems to be standard. Spinnery though, I'm going to put a spinnery down because I'm not sure what that's showing. Something a bit odd. Where's me? I will just put it down like that. And we'll have a look. So, just so you can have a look and so you can see what the productions are, what things are required off the back of all the things we have just seen. So if we click on this one here, so feed production, straw, silage, silage alfalfa, cow feed, pig food can be produced here. All these various different things in for the various different recipes. I'm just looking actually. Straw, silage, alfalfa, cow feed, there you go. So that requires some of the other things like black bean and stuff as well. Pig food, again, various different crop types. Incoming, grass, alfalfa, hay, black bean, sunflower, corn, barley, soybean, potatoes. So we can do feed production here for various different things for animals, incorporating some of the new crop types. You can also see on some of those recipes, I think all of those recipes, that compost is a byproduct. I'm trying to think, because I'm recording this first, although this is going to be last on the map tour. I might have already mentioned this, but compost, any of the ones that produce compost, if we come back out again, like I say, if I've already done this, apologies, but we'll see. If we come into our tools and we go to manure spreaders, there we go, I was going to say fertilizer spreaders, but manure spreaders, compost can be used to be spread on the ground, no different to manure. So if you're getting that as a byproduct, you can use the compost for that if you're wondering what the compost is for. So that's feed production. Crude oil, just here. Click on that. Crude oil production requires sand, and you get crude oil. So the sand we've already seen you can get from the mine or you can get from the crusher. If you take stones to the crushing facility, you can get sand as a byproduct, or you can just go to the mine and you can buy sand directly. So it depends how sort of immersive you want to go with it. If we come across from there, we've got our gold. So water, pay dirt and coal gives us our gold out. Brilliant. You can just sell that as it is, no problem at all, just sell the gold. But if you want to then do a little bit more with it, this should be like a smelter as far as I'm aware. Gold bars requires gold and coal. Yeah, it just smelts it, produces gold bars. All very lovely. So, like I say, because it's weird, I'm going back doing maps that I missed. Who was it that messaged me about this one this morning? I'll put it up on the screen. I'll check and put it up on the screen. Who messaged me about this? Because I had two more I think I was going to do. And he messaged me about this. And I thought, I'm sure I've done this one already. Nope, hadn't done it. So it's curious going backwards, having done Mason County and Deadwood, which is a kind of progression on from this with much more and way more productions, way more things that the Gold Bar Factory does, and that kind of thing, to see the sort of early versions of it on here. Come across then. So the root crop, this one here, click on there. So we've got sweet beetroot, carrot, parsnip, sweet potato mixed, preserved of beetroot, carrot, parsnip, and we can do potato chips in here as well. And sugar. Oh yeah. But it does require things like carton rolls, as you can see there. So you'd need to do the paper and cardboard. Empty pallet you would need from the pallet and plywood factory. So some of these do interlock, but not as heavily as some of the other map tours we've done. That's interesting. Just checking to see on there the recipes. Pallets. Oh yeah, it's the potato chips. I'm looking to right thinking sunflower oil and canola oil. What do I need those for? But it's for the potato chips. Two recipes there require them. And then our pallets out. Then finally was the spinnery. I think it might just been the pallets that's required. Yeah, I was looking thinking there's an extra icon there on the picture. So it had wool and cotton, and then it had one in the middle. I couldn't. So yeah, empty pallets would be required here as well for our fabric out at the spinnery. And that's it. I mean, I think I've covered everything. As far as I'm aware, I haven't missed any pastures, pens. I don't think. I do like the fact this has got the various different animal types with the chickens and the ducks and the sheep and goats and all the baby animals, and with the pigs you've got you've got the boars, and you've got that's a nice addition. I think that one disappears from later versions. But anyway, all that being said, that's Black Mountain Montana, or Black Mountain 22 by Poorboy and Hoot. I hope you have found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.